and welcome back. Today's video we're going to be testing out the Rebel Rose collection from Wet n Wild. I'll be doing a first impressions on all of the products from the collection. I'll show you guys a couple of swatches, and I had some hits and I had some misses with this collection. So why don't we go ahead and get started so you guys can see how I created this look and see a little bit more about the product. Okay, so I know I am kind of late to the party on this one, but I really wanted to play with the collection, and I know I told you guys in my PR unboxing, like, did you still want to see this? Is it too late? And a lot of you guys said you still wanted to see me test everything out, so that is what I'm going to be doing. We're going to be playing with the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose collection. So this is a limited edition collection from Wet n Wild. I'm going to show you guys a few of the products that are part of this line. So we have a couple of like skincare products. So we have a rose toner. This is going to be a spray toner. We also have this here, which is the rose multi-use oil, which has all those little like petals in it. Looks super nice. We have a couple of skincare products. We also have this rose serum, which it looks like mine spilled out a little bit, but this one kind of reminds me like it's going to be like the Farsali one. It looks just like it, so I'll be curious to give this one a try. I'm going to use that one, I think, as my primer. So then we also have the Jelly Balm, and this one is supposed to be like one of those pH balance balms, so it kind of looks like it's brown, but it's going to go to my skin tone. And then we also have a lip scrub, a part of this collection, and then I'll show you guys the actual makeup products. I have a couple of different brushes that are part of this, which are super pretty. These are like the rose brushes. How cool are these? We have two different ones of those. We also have a bunch of different eyeshadows. So there are 3 different quads a part of this collection. So here are the quads here. So there are, like I said, 3 different ones. They're definitely a little bit more vampy. This whole collection is just a little dark and I kind of love it. And then we also have this cream blush, which again is supposed to be one of those pH balance blushes, so it kind of looks black in the pan. And then we have a bunch of liquid cat suits. So there are 4 new shades to these. Some of them are definitely darker and more vampier. And then we have like a couple of these ones I think could be a little bit more wearable. And then we have like these 2 darker shades as well. So I'm going to start playing with everything on the face. And yeah, we can dig in. Okay, so I'm first going to start with the Photo Focus Rose Priming Serum. I'm going to test this one out first. I got mine all cleaned up. Looks like you get a large amount in here, so I'm actually going to shake this because it looks a little bit watery. So let me shake it up and see if we can't fix that a little bit because it looked a little bit watery on the top. Okay, so I'm going to apply this as my primer. And I'll just drop a little bit down and see how this works as a primer. So it actually feels, the consistency of it feels pretty close to the Farsali one. I do feel like a little bit sticky on my skin, kind of like I do with that one. So I'll see once I apply my makeup if I really notice a difference. It is making my face a little bit red, but that kind of always happens when I tried the Farsali one as well, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and apply all of my base makeup because the only thing that I have to test out is the blush that is part of the complexion. So I'm going to get my rest of my base done and then I'll be right back. So I am back after applying the base. So now I'm going to move on to the blush, and so far the primer, the makeup went on top of it well. I don't notice any issues. My under eyes today are so dry, so if they look kind of creepy, I'm sorry. But we're going to try the cream blush. Oh, this is a cream brush. I think I failed because if this is a cream blush, we should have applied it before I put on my powder. I'm nervous now to see if it's going to apply over top the powder. It might kind of ruin, yeah, it might kind of ruin it. So I'm just going to swatch it actually. Here's what it looks like. And so on my skin tone, it looks like it's going to be more of like a mauve-ier shade. Here is it swatched. I'm afraid, honestly, to apply it over top though. Oh, what if it ruins our powder? Sometimes I feel like you can apply creams over top and sometimes you can't. Let's try it though. So we're gonna try this blush brush here, and this is super cute. It reminds me of the Princesa. I can't even think of which one it is, but look at this, like the rose inside like the tube. Super cute. So I'm gonna actually try it over top of the powder, but I'm afraid this is gonna look really bad. So I'm gonna grab this here, go into the cream. I'm not sure if this brush is meant to be used with it, and I'm just gonna apply it over top of the powder and hope for the best. So has a little bit of a funky smell to it. Okay, I don't think that's actually applying bad over top of the powder. It looks okay. It's separating it a tiny bit, but I think once I go over it with like a sponge, I think we'll be fine. So the actual brush feels pretty soft. I'm just kind of pouncing it on my cheeks. And it looks a little intense right now, to be honest. Let me grab my sponge and see if we can't just like blend this all together here. And then I might just spray some of my setting spray and see if that'll help kind of like melt it in. I don't mind the color of the blush. Obviously, I think if I applied it not over top of the powder, we'd have a better outcome. But it's not completely ruining my makeup, so I'm not like mad at it. It's definitely interesting that it changes to like your different skin tones. So this blush is gonna look different on everyone. So looking close up, I don't think that it necessarily disrupted it too much. Maybe a little up here, but I actually think it looks pretty good on top of the powder. I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm gonna give myself a quick spritz with the Morphe Setting Mist, just really quickly to try and lock that in a little bit. And then we can move on to the eyeshadows. I love Wet n Wild as a brand, but if there's one thing I could critique about them, it would be their packaging. It's always such a pain to try and get open because they put those stickers right here. And it always takes me so long. It never fully peels off, and it's always such a process to open anything from them. So this first one here is the Secret Garden. That one has the 4 shades. This next one here is the House of Thorns. Love the names on these. This one actually looks more of like a smoky palette. You have that really pretty green and also the copper in here. And then this is the one that I'm most interested. This is the Bed of Roses palette. And I think this one looks so pretty, especially like the champagne shade right here. I think this is the one that I want to kind of play with. So I'm going to start out, I'm trying to think which shade. I wish one of these had like a little bit of a lighter one. So I think I'm gonna go in with this shade first. This one is in the Secret Garden. So we do have a blending brush, a part of this one as well, and it actually feels really soft too, but I'm gonna go in with another brush first, and I'll come back into that one. So I am first gonna go into that first shade right here, the more like cranberry shade, and pick that up. I'm gonna tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna work this shade into my crease. I actually cut my finger from when I was trying to open those packages. I swear, they are like deadly to open. So this shade looks like it is a nice pigmented, kind of like cranberry red shade. I'm just gonna work this one lightly into my crease, and then we'll slowly begin to build it up a little. So the prices on the quads are $4.99. Almost all of the products in this collection are $4.99. Aside from the brushes, those are $7.99. But everything else, it's looking like it's $4.99, which is a pretty good price point, I think, for 4 shadows. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the one that I wanna use. This one is the Bed of Roses, and I'm gonna start to deepen it up with a little bit with this shade. I am gonna try this rose brush for that, super cute. I'm gonna go into that shade and just try to deepen this up one, like I said, a little bit. I'm gonna tap off the excess on here. This is so light. It's obviously like plastic, but it feels so light. So I'm just gonna stamp this on the outer corner and begin to blend it in. This definitely feels weird because the plastic is kind of hitting my eye a little bit. So that definitely feels strange. It's not hurting or anything, it just kind of feels like awkward. So I don't know if I love this brush. You can see that it's not blending like right here. So I'm gonna grab a different brush and try to blend this out a little bit better here. I just think that brush is just a little bit too dense, and also I feel like it was hard to work with because I was hitting my eye, so I don't know if I love that eye brush. The blush brush, however, was really cool. I don't think that that was bad by any means. The plastic didn't really bother me with that one. I just think with this one being so close to the eye, you don't really want plastic rubbing on it. I'm still looking kind of patchy right here in this area, and I can't help but think it's where we put that brush down first. I don't know if I'll be able to blend it out. I'm gonna work my best, but it looks a little bit patchy. I'm gonna add a little more and see if we can't blend it out a little better. So the shade definitely looks better on this eye. I'm still having a little bit of a hard time blending it, but it doesn't look as choppy as it does over here with that other brush. All right, so I think this is about as good as we're gonna get. I'm gonna have to try to make this work. So I'm gonna deepen it up with this kind of like cool toned purple shade just a little bit more because I think this one's really unique. And I am going to, again, just work this one on the outer corner. I'm gonna try and cover up what we did and see if we can't get this one to blend a little bit more. So I'm having quite a bit of problems with this shade too. I just think that with these deeper shades, really having to work at blending them. Like, I've been going at this for a good 5 minutes and I still feel like it's super choppy up in this area. So I don't know if I love these darker mattes. I mean, you can definitely make them work. We're gonna make them work. They're just pretty hard to work with as far as blending them out. I just think that they're just a little more difficult. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like a half cut crease. I think that that will really help with the shade just looking a little bit better. So I'm just gonna go in with some matte concealer and my Moda brush. I love this brush for cutting the crease. And I'm just gonna slightly cut my crease. I'm gonna stop it about in the middle, so just kind of more of like a half cut crease. I've been doing this a lot lately. I think it looks really nice with these shadows. So I'm just gonna do this to kind of help this look. And then I'm gonna go into that first shade that we went in with, just on a clean blending brush, and go over these edges right here, kind of blend it in a little bit before I apply the shimmer shade. So after doing that, I'm now gonna go in with the shimmer shade. So for that, I'm gonna pick up this brush right here, and I'm gonna actually wet this shade. This is the shimmer shade, the like foiled pink one in this one. I'm gonna wet my brush and see how this applies. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit of Fix Plus on it, just wet it down a little bit, and apply this directly over top of the concealer. So I think that the shade actually looks a little bit more purple than pink. I was kind of hoping it would be a little bit more pink. It's definitely very foiled though. It looks really glittery and pretty. So I'm just putting this on the inner part of the eye, just kind of packing it on. I only sprayed my brush that one time. I am going to take a little bit of this gold shade too, I think, and apply a little bit of that over top, just because this one looks a little bit more like purpley pink, and see if that can't like light it up a little bit. Yeah. So I feel like just applying that over top just gave it a little bit more lightness to it, kind of made it more of what I thought it was going to be. And we did get a little bit of fallout when it came to the shimmer shades, but I think that that made the eye look much better. It still looks a little bit choppy right here, but it doesn't look as bad as it did before we applied the shimmer. All right, so I'm back after doing the other eye. I actually really like the way that this eye look came out. I still do feel like it could be a little bit blended, but I think it actually looks really pretty. This is probably my favorite formula of Wet n Wild shimmers, because I think that the shimmers in these are so good. They're really buttery, really creamy, and they look really, really nice. The only problem I have is the darker mattes seem to be a little bit hard to blend out. You guys saw that, but the actual shimmers in the palette, which I feel like there's more shimmers. You have the 2 shimmers and the 2 mattes. I would buy these just for the shimmers, because these shimmers are really nice. And I mean, $4, I feel like you can make the mattes work. I'm still going to continue to obviously try these out for sure. Let's go ahead and do the lower lash line now. So for lower lash line, I'm actually really going to smoke this out. I'm just going in with that first shade that we used, and I'm really just going to connect these two and kind of just blend it out quite a bit. I want it to be pretty like dramatic and smoky. I don't really think I'm going to apply any other shadows down here. I kind of just want to work with this shade first. All right, so there is that. I'm gonna go ahead and add some false lashes and then move back to test out the lip products. The lashes are on. I use the Princesa lashes from Delarza Cosmetics. Now we're gonna try out a couple of the liquid catsuits. So these are the 2 I think I wanna go with. I might do like an ombre lip with these. So I'm first gonna go in with the purple one. This one is called Bud Romance, and I'm gonna use this one first. I'll go ahead and swatch it for you guys. So here's what that one looks like. I think this one is a gloss though. Hold on. I think this is one of their liquid catsuit high shine lipsticks. Are these all of the high shine lipsticks? They are. Okay, so these are actually glosses. I thought they were their liquid lipsticks, but these are their new glosses, which I do really like the formula of them. So I'm first gonna go in with this shade, and I'm gonna apply this one all over the lips, and then I'm gonna go in with the lighter pink shade to kind of ombre it in the middle. All right, so there's the purple on the lips, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of the pink shade, and this one is called Petal Potion. I'll show you guys what this one looks like. It's more of like a dustier pink shade. All right, so there is those 2 mixed together. I didn't know if I loved the first purple shade, but I like these 2 actually mixed, and I like this second shade right here. I think that that one's pretty. I don't know if I'll really use like these 2 vampier ones. They're a little bit vampy for me. This dark purple one, it's almost black. It's very purple, and then we have like this deeper like brown shade. All right, and this is gonna be our final look using the Rebel Rose collection. Getting into kind of my final thoughts, I do really like the way that this look came out. I love the eyeshadow, I think it's really pretty. Again, the quads I feel like could be a little bit easier to work with when it came to the deeper shades, but the all over look that we got I think is really nice. The shimmers in here are really, really good. I think that they're my favorite like Wet n Wild shimmer I've tried because they just seem like way more foiled than most of their other like little palettes that I've tested out. So I really like the shimmers in these. The mattes, I'm going to continue to play with them. I'll use some of like the blues, the black in here and kind of see how they perform, and I'll come back and let you guys know. But for me, you just have to work at them a little bit from what I've tested out so far, so we'll see. The brushes, so we had this brush here, which I didn't really love. We definitely had like some hits and misses with this collection. I didn't really love this for the eyes. I feel like the plastic kept kind of hitting me, so it wasn't my favorite. I feel like it's more of kind of just like a collector's type thing, like you could set out. Brush though, I did like this one. This one's really soft. I think it's a perfect size for a blush brush. I also actually liked the cream blush. I thought that this was a cool product. I think it looks really nice on the cheeks, and I actually think it went over the powder pretty well. I was kind of nervous that it was gonna like slide everywhere and whatnot, but it actually looks pretty good over top of the powder. I don't see it like breaking apart or anything like that. And I think it's a cool concept. I've never tried a blush that goes to your skin tone, so this is kind of fun. I like the fact that it's black too. It just kind of makes a difference. And as far as the primer goes, we tested out the Rose Primer Serum. I think that this was pretty good. It felt really hydrating on my skin. My foundation applied nicely over top of it. I didn't have any issues with that. The lip glosses, so I liked the pinker shade that I tried. The purple was just a little bit too out there for me, but together I think they're really pretty mixed. The packaging on this entire collection is absolutely stunning. Obviously, all of these products are super affordable when it comes to Wet n Wild. That's what you're gonna get. I didn't get to test out the skincare products, the toner or the serum, so I'll continue to test those out, and I'll come back and let you guys know what I think when I do get the chance to kind of put those into my skincare routine. But that is going to do it for this little first impressions with the Rebel Rose collection. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of this look right here. If you're planning on getting anything from this collection, or if you've already purchased something from it, let me know. I'll have all of the products I use linked down in the description box for you guys. Give this one a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.